Alright, so what we're talking about today is how to strap down a car inside an enclosed trailer. A lot of people really that are like do-it-yourselfers and such is probably a very significant concern if you are hauling your car to a racetrack or whatever you might be using your trailer to haul for, especially if you have something like a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, something very valuable. You don't want to screw that up or you're going to be paying a big body shop price. Now let me explain the straps that we use to haul these cars professionally. And this first strap is my personal favorite, which you can actually buy on Amazon. It is a Vulcan Classic and it's an entirely soft strap. And I love this strap because there's no metal hooks at all other than this D-ring, which the strap actually lassos or goes through at the front side of the tire. And what you're going to want to do with this is you basically have it like I had it here, but you're going to want to put this through the wheel like so. We already have one on here, so we're probably should have taken that off to demonstrate. But this is essentially how this works, is that you just put this through the wheel like so, and you just run that through there, and you can move this strap piece around to protect for the wheel. I actually put this on one back, this one on backwards, but honestly it really doesn't make much difference. So you're going to move this around, and you can kind of move the D-ring around. So now when it comes to this part, you're always going to want to move take the strap and cross it to the other side of the car. So go ahead and do that. And you can see that it would move over here, and then we would ratchet it. We already have this one ratcheted, but we would ratchet that side, so we would ratchet the passenger side towards the driver's side, and we would ratchet the driver's side to the passenger side. And you do that on all four sides, and that will keep this car from moving an inch. I can guarantee you that. If you do that, you will not have to worry whatsoever about that car moving. And if you've got a very exotic car, one of the super exotics like a Gallardo or a 488, anything with a rear diffuser that sits low, you are definitely going to want a soft tie down, because a lot of your straps that people use tend to have hooks and they have attachment points underneath the car. Even if you use an axle strap, which a lot of people do, which I might actually have one. A lot of people will use an axle strap like this. This one's really rusted out, but they will take an axle strap and stick this through the wheel. And the problem here is that now you have to attach this axle strap to this huge hook. Well, this huge hook, I've seen it happen before, will bounce up and down and hit the rear diffuser on those cars, and it will crack it. Because especially if it's carbon fiber, you're talking thousands of dollars in damage. Okay, now let's get to the second style of strap that I would recommend using if you are a little bit maybe tight on space, or you don't have a lot of clearance in the front, but you do have a door right here. These Wishbone straps are fantastic, okay? And you can actually get away with only doing one lasso on the front as long as you cross the two in the back. So the way this strap works is that basically you're going to have it right here, and there's going to be you'll need a long strap with an attachment point that comes through one side, goes out the other side, and you're going to have an attachment point over here, and then you're going to have another attachment point on the back side. And what you're going to use for attachment points is going to be these E-track D-rings. So you'll just put one somewhere up here, and so you'll have that strap coming off here. Find one. as I was saying with the Wishbone Strap, it basically is a great strap for limited clearance in the front, and if you don't have a lot of availability to get in the front of the trailer, you can simply mount two. Now in this trailer we can't do it because we would need to mount E-track or D-rings closer to the actual side of the trailer. So you would need to mount them over here, because if you look inside the trailer, the car is actually sitting over the E-track, so we would not be able to attach it here because it's too close to the car. The idea is you want to have the attachment over here as far away from the car as possible, and then over here you want to have it both. You can see the idea on camera. Imagine that you're basically just pulling that wheel out and in both directions. Pulling it to the front, you're pulling it to the back. It keeps that wheel totally in place. I used that system for quite a long time and really only did the front wheel and both rear wheels most of the time, and I never had a car ever move an inch. Now finally, the last strap, and this is going to be more or less the industry standard strap. It's going to be your basic over the tire strap, and this one, I think everybody has seen it. You pretty much have three surface points where these rubber moldings are basically hitting the tire. They go basically in the front, the top, and the lower half, and it creates a it's going to look something like this, where you have the tire goes over the tire, and what's going to happen is, so attach that, so it's going to go over it, and then you're going to end up having some E-track. So it's going to look something like that. Again, if you're going to use this system, you've got to get the wheel of the car perfectly over the E-track so that it's not cockeyed when you're strapping it. Which is why, like I said in the beginning, for do-it-yourselfers, the long strap, the long soft strap, by far the D-ring strap, this one is by far the most simple and easiest to use for anybody who is a beginner or does not haul a lot of vehicles, and it is extremely effective. So, all right. So, aside from the strapping, there are a few additional points you might want to consider. Probably the biggest one that gets overlooked is suspension. You want to remember at all times that the vehicle is actually riding on its own suspension while going down the road. And people don't seem to understand that. It's really no different than if you were actually driving the vehicle yourself, because of how many bumps it's going to be going up and down with the trailer. So you don't want to have anything loose on the car at all. Any loose control arms or broken suspension parts could actually crack the wheel could fall off, you could have the car slide in the trailer. Not good. Obviously the clearance is a concern. You want to remember the clearance at all times. You don't want it to bottom out. And finally, the e-brake. Don't forget to always put the e-brake on if the car has one. I think that's probably it, but if I left something out, leave it in the comments below.